rim dodge, fires and scores! Overhand shot and a goal.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way this.
From X, turns, fires and scores! From 317 Maine, in the heart of Farmingdale, it is the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Hello everyone, I'm Dylan Butler, joined with Andrew Rappaport here for the return of lacrosse. Yes, Lax is back.
It feels good. The first season since 2019 where we're going to actually crown some state champions, have a full season, hopefully no interruptions, and just play lacrosse. It's fun, it's back, and I can't wait. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun this year, and we're going to have a great show as well for you. We've got a lot of coaches coming up. We have players as well. We've got polls. Polls are always fun. We get in trouble with polls, but
somebody's not going to be happy. I can tell you right now, somebody's not going to be happy. Somebody thinks they should be 3 when they're really 6. Bring it. We like it. We'll deal with it, but that's okay. And it's settled on the field, right? I mean,
100%.
Polls are great.
And that's the great thing about this year, too, is where we've got so many non-conference games that a lot of these discussions will be decided on the field.
Yeah, because last year there were not a lot of non-league games, so you're right. It made it very difficult. This year on the field, we'll settle it all.
All right, so before we get started with our poll, we're going to start with the boys poll in our top 20. Before we get started there, we're going to invite in now the president of Varsity Media, Ben Turchin, who's got some exciting announcements ahead of the lacrosse season.
Thank you, Dylan. And everybody, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for being here today. Great crowd here at 317 Maine. The lacrosse community has come out and celebrate. And like Andrew said, you alluded to it, it's been a long time. I think we're all starved for a great season, a full season. And this show would not be possible without a lot of great people and a lot of great businesses and companies to make this possible. Let's start with Igloo Lacrosse, and we'll have a representative, John Calabria, who's the Syosset head coach, will be on the show, also a coach for Igloo Lacrosse. He'll be here to talk about them momentarily. Lax on LI, Vanessa Windsor, who's in the house today, and she'll come on in a little bit on the girls' side. She does a fantastic job with the girls' side. Lax on LI, we'll talk to her coming up. What about this place, folks? The food has been fantastic. 317 Maine. We have to thank James and Joe for having us here in this great room, and we hope you're enjoying yourselves right now. So those are our big-time title sponsors. Also, Mary Whitaker with Century 21 is here. We want to thank her. And Mike Hungerford, the Farmingdale head coach on the boys' side with Breakout Goaltending. We'll talk to Mike coming up as well. So those are our sponsors. We wanted to give them their due and thank them for allowing us to have this show today. Varsity Media, guys, also has some pretty exciting news. Besides the show and all of our coverage coming up this season, we are introducing a brand new app. It's called the Varsity Media Pass. It will be available at the beginning of lacrosse season. You can access it on the App Store and Google Play. And there you see it right there at home and on the screen here. We will have game highlights. We will have player interviews. This show will eventually move to the app. So if you like this show and you want to see our weekly highlight show that will come on during the entire season, you'll have to get the app for that. In-depth feature stories, maybe one written by Dylan Butler or 2 during the season. You'll have to stay tuned for that. Stats, standings, schedules, all the stuff that a lacrosse fan is going to want to see. Download Varsity Media Pass and stay in touch with us through social media. Our handle is Varsity Media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Stay tuned for the updates, and we'll let you know when the Varsity Media Pass app will be available.
How could they not want to see Dylan and I every single week breaking down the top 20? Highlights, rankings. Come on, what's better than that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Plug for us.
Are we getting ready for some rankings here?
Let's get right into it.
All right, top 20?
20, let's do it.
All right, so we will go 20, obviously going, eventually getting to number 1. We start with, I think some guys in this room will be pretty happy with the 20th spot. How about MacArthur coming in? Last year, 8-5. They will be a very, very strong team this year as well. You see number 19 as well, Smithtown West, off a 12-4 season a year ago. West Islip coming in at 18. Head coach Tom Corcoran, an 86 graduate of West Islip High School. It's his 4th year. Listen, these guys B final. They're leading the way. Returning is, listen, you always need a Fogo, right? They got CJ Swartz. She's going to Albany. You got Jack Della Pizza, going to Stony Brook. was the number 1 poll last year as well. So West Islip will certainly be a team. And again, too, with the change, with the non-league, they've got a big early season matchup with Farmingdale.
And it's, Smithtown West and West Islip, you used to see them do a lot of battles for, the top of the standings a few years ago. So maybe they have a little bit to prove, and they want to get back to where they have been in previous years.
Yeah, absolutely. We look now, continuing on in the poll, you've got number 17, Southside, Brady West. Love this kid, going to Loyola. 19 goals, 9 assists as a junior. He's not here yet, but if he was, John Calabria, I don't know if he'd be happy or upset. I'm not sure. But 16 is Syosset. Look, they lost a ton of seniors. A.J. Alexander being key among them. He's at Providence. Joe Buetti as well. But they've got some standout players back as well. Luca Accardo going to High Point. Luca Catolo, we saw him during the football season, both of them during the football season. And Adam Giovenco as well, now becoming that lefty attack guy, right? So he's another guy to look out for.
And I'll take the bullet. I will ask him if he's happy or not so happy with his ranking.
Yeah, but it's my poll. What do you mean you're going to take the bullet?
Well, but you don't want to ask him, so I'll ask him for you.
Continuing on in the poll, we've got Bayshore at number 15. New coach there, Mark Spewitt. Will Danowski going to Stony Brook, leading the attack. You got junior Max Crane going to UMass. He's in the midfield. Chris Butler and Doug Rabin leading the polls in the back. Butler going to Pace and Rabin going to Wesleyan. Number 14, Smithtown East. Head coach Rob Campbell there. He's got Owen Carroll. An attackman going to Delaware. Mark Wertheim as well. Midi going to Brown. And at 13, it's Comstock, the reigning Suffolk B champions. You've got an Army-bound lefty senior attackman. You love those lefty attackmen, right? Michael Katz, 46 goals, 18 assists as a junior. That is our from 20 to 13. We're going to break down more of the top teams as we continue. But first, we've got some of our big-time players, right? We're going to break down top 10 players as we go along. But we've got 3 of the best here with us now. To my left, Joey Terenzi out of Manhasset High School. To my right, Joey Spallina. And then to my far right is Michael Leo. So these are 3, certainly not only 3 of the best players on Long Island, but 3 of the best in the country as well. And we're certainly thankful to have you guys on with us as well. There was a pretty special goal a year ago scored by this guy to my left, Joey Terenzi, and we have some video of it as well with me on the call at the Woodstick. Check it out. He chased, still has it, takes a look over his shoulder, a little skip in his step, behind the back! Are you serious? Terenzi, 6'3", Manhasset. Off camera before, but you were saying that was not scripted. That was all freelance for you, right?
Yeah, I never have done a shot like that in my whole entire life, so I kind of just went with it and went in.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Woodstick, big crowd, Garden City, that's the time to go and pull that one out of your back pocket, no doubt about that. But listen, big year for you as well, right? I mean, yeah. It's really for all you guys, but it's your last year in high school. A little bit of unfinished business. You and the guy to my right here had an epic battle in the LICs last year. But you guys, obviously, the tradition at Manhasset is all about winning state championships, and I know that's probably chief among your concerns this year.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't won in 11 years, so I think it's time that the championship is brought back to Manhasset. So I hope I can do my best and bring one back.
Listen, some of these highlights are from last year, right? But you kind of went on the scene, or you made a name for yourself as a freshman, right? Huge goal, a different goal against Garden City, and your name kind of got known there. And, you kind of take a step up a little bit in terms of being a leader this year. Aiden Mulholland obviously was, kind of the guy, right? But he's at Michigan now, and this is a lot of the leadership is on your shoulders this year.
Yeah, I mean, I had the chance to be in front of 4 great captains, and I think I've learned so much from them. So now it's time for me to take a chance and lead as good as they did.
By the way, we purposely have the UVA guy separated by the Cuse guys, right? We don't want any drama here tonight. These both Joey Spallina and Michael Leo heading to Syracuse, but before they do, they also have the end of their high school careers to play. And Michael Leo, start with you a little bit. Look, you guys ended it obviously the way you always want to end it last year, right? With a win over Chaminade. You had a big part of that as well. And back again. And also I think what's probably as exciting is, you guys play a terrific schedule, right? The non-league schedule is maybe second to none. You get that back this year, right, after the COVID restrictions. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. Like, we work hard day in and day out to, like, compete with those type of teams, and we're just excited.
Yeah, and again, you it's funny because the last couple of years, 19 and last year, you guys had the top-ranked player in the country. Now that guy's sitting next to you, but you had O'Neal, of course, and McAdory as well last year. A little bit of a different look for you guys this year. It's strength throughout your roster, but obviously you, Owen.
Yeah.
How excited are you about this year's team?
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we have other guys as well that always chip into. So I think this year what makes us best is we have a ton of depth in our roster, and I think that's what makes us special. So we're excited.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe embarrassing you a little bit here, but one of the best pure shooters ever to play at St. Anthony's, and obviously when you look at the list of guys, tremendous names, right? I mean, how special is it to put on that jersey and to also realize some of the guys, Schreiber, others, to come before you?
Yeah, I mean, it's really special to be a part of it, and I mean, I just work hard to be that type of player, and yeah, that's it.
So at some point soon, and well, not too soon, Keith Weiserick, we want to keep him on your team for a little while longer, but in the near future, you and Joey Spallina next year. I don't know if you can be carpooling up to the Dome, but you will be teammates at the Orange, and Joey Spallina will we kind of saved the best here for last. I mean, look, dream season, the way that you guys ended it last year, right? Sorry, Joey. But an incredible year, especially the way that you ended it just with that goal, right? I mean, one of the most epic moments that you had in the lacrosse season last year. But how do you one up that now this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that game was crazy. But I mean, obviously the goal for us this year is to get back to that game and then eventually move on and go win a state with some my best friends since 4th, 5th grade. And obviously, I mean, everybody always says it's awesome to play with your siblings, and this year it'll be actually the first year that I'll be able to play with all two of Brett and Jake. I'll be able to play with them and be on the same field as them, which obviously is awesome. But to be able to win with them, I think would be the perfect way to end it.
Yeah, and like you mentioned it too, right? The state championship, and I don't know if you set a goal out, but certainly last year, I mean, you were the leading scorer on Long Island, which in itself, when you consider the talent that's out here, is amazing, right? I mean, you had 122 points, 45 goals, 77 assists, and we're showing that one. Joey Terenzi, look away on this goal, please. But this is the moment, man. Like this was what you dream about, right?
Yeah.
Like, and especially you too. I mean, like you said, Les. Yes, it's a team game, but that was something you put that on your shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, and people probably don't pick up on it, but number 17, Pat, he honestly set probably the best pick, and obviously I was able to turn the corner and go score a goal. But I mean, it's we have a really good team this year, and it's we're all pretty tight. We're all best friends, and I mean we've all known each other. I mean, some of us have known each other since pre-K, which is cool. But yeah, I mean we're just super pumped up, and we're just excited to get after it and play this year. Yeah,
and you got a game coming up. We'll tease it. We'll show it in a little bit. But you guys start off. It's an incredible showdown. I love it. We're going to be there for it. Northport and Mount Sinai, 2 defending Long Island champions, just getting at it right away. I mean, how cool is that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we obviously we can't play the schedule like they do, but we try to always play against like the best teams and play against the top teams. And I feel like that's a great way to start and test test us and just see what we got and see what we can do as a team.
All right, so we punished poor Joey Terenzi here enough with showing the goal and talking about Mount Sinai. But we do have a gift, Joey, for you, a little bit of a surprise for you here. So you guys heard the call, right? The Are You Serious call? Well, we got a little shirt for you as well. We'll show it here. So there you go, a little Are You Serious?
Thank you, I appreciate
All right.
it.
So there you go.
Thank you, Coach.
No problem. So listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on stage. Of course, best of luck as well this season.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so we had the shirt. How about we go off with the call again, and then we've got some more guests coming up, more of our top poll and our top players as well when we return here on the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
He chased, still has it, takes a look over his shoulder, a little skip in his step, behind the back! Are you serious? Terenzi, 6'3", Manhasset.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Woodland's goal! Ryan Woodland!
Behind the back shot for Connolly, and that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss.
Look at that cut to the cage, and the sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save, rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
Igloo Lacrosse, where it takes a team to build a player. We offer a competitive but family-style club. We're all-inclusive and feature great recruiting events such as Elite 80 and Big 16. Plus, we have the best gear around. Check us out for more information at igloolax.com.
Lax and Ally. Female owned, female coached, female inspired. The only girls lacrosse sports performance company on Long Island. Training youth, high school, and collegiate female athletes from Suffolk and Nassau. We focus on skill, speed, strength, nutrition, mental performance, recruitment support, and select competitive teams. We are supporting you to be the best girls lacrosse player you can be, on and off the field.
Capobianco forces Woodland. Woodland turns and fires! Woodland, his second, and it's 4-0 Dalers. Welcome back to 317 Main in the heart of Farmingdale for the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Listen, we said before the break, some incredible games we've got coming up, even at the very beginning of the season, and we'll show those games to you now. Just a terrific slate. You've got Northport, Mount Sinai. We just talked to Joey Spallina game. Ward Melville, Garden City, 2 perennial powerhouses as well. Syosset here. You have got John Calabria on set as well. They're going to Southside. You've got that game. So many other games as well. You have to hit subscribe in the bottom right of your screen if you're watching at home on the to get all our updates too about the upcoming games. A terrific slate coming up.
I think I'm literally going to sit at home and watch you do every one of those games because those are awesome games.
So clearly, I'll be doing the work. You'll be hanging out. I get it.
Like this?
To my left is my sometime, I guess, often broadcast partner as well.
Occasional.
He wears a lot of hats. It's Mike Hungerford. He's the head coach at Farmingdale and also with the breakout goaltending group. We'll talk about that as well. And to my far right, we just mentioned Syosset before. It's John Calabria, of course, a longtime coach of the Braves. Also here to talk a little bit about Igloo Lacrosse as well. Guys, thanks for joining us here. All right, so Mike, you've got home turf here, right? Because we're in Farmingdale. So we'll start with you a little bit. Look, goaltending, obviously, right? A massive part of any lacrosse game. It's a game changer, and you've got an unbelievable group. Tell us a little bit about the goaltending group.
All right, Dylan, Breakout Goaltending Group offer comprehensive goaltending for boys and girls of all ages, 52 weeks a year. Every week there's breakout goaltending opportunity to come and get trained, and I think people are very familiar with the face-off now being such a big deal in lacrosse, the draw in the women's game being quite as important as specialists for facing off in the draw game, but being able to play in the goal and play well and is something that's it's just as important, and we offer we feel we offer a great opportunity for kids to come and get trained.
And also, we're on those broadcasts that we showed you, we're going to have as well a save of the game. So if you're a goalie out there watching the show, extra incentive right now to get the Breakout Goaltending Group save of the game.
Yeah, the director of Breakout Goaltending, Tim O'Meara and Brian Solpers, who are the directors, they're very proud to be sponsors of the save of the game and try to honor a player every game that makes a highlight reel save. There's one every game, at least one. It's got to find it.
The most important question is, could you teach me how to be a goalie?
I think there's no shot of that.
Rap, from what I heard previously, probably not.
I think I'm going to come down, put the pads on, and see if you can make me into a decent goalie.
That might be a show in itself.
Well, we got Tim and Brian in the audience. I think, do we have a shot at Rap?
Well, they probably could.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
They're saying come on down, so I'm going to come on down.
I don't know why anybody would want to be a goalie.
Well, that's true.
But you guys could do it. You guys could make him a goalie, but
we're a different group. We're a different group.
Well, I like the goalie part because I don't think I'm that fast, so I probably can't run a hard shot. So goalie probably fits me well.
Maybe. Never know.
Got to be somewhere.
This is true. I'll be in the booth. John Calabria, obviously a terrific, both with Syosset, a great year last year. We'll get to that in a second, though. But first with Igloo, one of the things I'm so impressed with Igloo is just the coaches that you guys have, right? And it's seemingly second to none. I mean, from Cromwell, you've got Stevie Fennell. I mean, just the names go on and on. It I think makes Igloo so special.
Yeah, I mean, for sure with the proliferation of club lacrosse over the last 10 years, I think that Anthony Alexander has kind of found his niche in, really bringing in the high school coaches and really kind of developing the kids. That's kind of our motto is really continue to get better and better and, quality practices, big time tournaments and really try to see the kids develop over time. And, I think he's done that. So he's right there with the big boys, and it's gone really well.
And with Syosset, right, I mean, look, defending champions, we have you guys separated for a reason, opposite sides of that championship game a year ago. But we said it, in that first segment when we listed you at 16. I'm not sure if you're upset about that or you're happy about that. But obviously you lost a lot, right, especially in the attack. But you do bring back some key players as well.
Yeah, I mean, we bring back a good core guys. The preseason rankings, they are what they are. I don't really pay much attention to them, to be honest with you. But there's a reason they play the games, And Mike and I have been battling for years. And along with the rest of Class A in Nassau County, there's a pretty good group. And, we feel like I said, we have a good core group coming back. And it's about getting the kids to buy in. And, so far so good. In the off season, the kids seem to be doing it, and we're going to continue to work hard.
Even though you lost a certain amount of players, the goal doesn't change for Syosset Lacrosse, right? I mean, the goal still is the same high standard as always.
For sure. I mean, we want to be right back in the big dance. We want to be right back in the Final Four in Class A, and then it's kind of like anyone's game from there. That's the way it's been for the last 15 years pretty much, So, we'll see what happens.
And Mike, you go from kind of the hunter to now the hunted. You're the preseason number one for a reason, right? A lot of key players back. We spoke before. Ryan Woodland, lefty attack going to Hofstra. You've got Danny Seaman going to St. John's.
I like my group. I think when you get picked to be number one, just determines you're going to play number two at home, right? Mm-hmm. And, we have a bunch of teams in the A's are all pretty close. And like what John said, you're going to practice, you're going to prepare, you're going to try to get better. I thought John's team did a great job of peaking at the right time last year, played their best lacrosse at the end. And we hope to do the same thing. We have a lot of kids back, and they seem to like each other. They seem to like working really hard. And it's all you can ask for is to have great kids that do well in the classroom and like being together and go to battle with them and hope for the best.
All right, so John gave his answer. He didn't care about the preseason rankings. We haven't shown Farmingdale on our top 20. Where do you think you guys you should be?
I have absolutely no idea. The show is great, and wherever we happen to be, we're very proud to be wherever we happen to be. So it's all good, and we appreciate the interest, and we'll move on from there and see where it is. I'd like to know where I'm going to be on June something. Maybe would be more important.
Way more important.
100%.
That's more important answer. So, hopefully the number on the left's got a lot bigger number than the number on the right, John? That's what we can hope for, right?
That's for sure.
Before we let these guys go, we have to change gears a little bit because we're talking about championships, and John's daughter just accomplished something, so we have to give her a shout out. They just won a cheerleading.
Yes, cheerleading.
State championship.
State championship.
I mean, you've accomplished a lot in lacrosse, obviously, but to see your daughter get up there and win, how proud of you are you?
If any of my players or any Long Island lacrosse players want to know anything about pressure, they should try doing a cheerleading competition for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And you can't make a mistake. We make a mistake, we make it up in the third quarter. But the Sachem North girls, they pulled it out. My angel Grace doesn't miss a chance to let me know that she has a state championship, which is I ask it maybe one day.
So she hangs it over your head a little
pretty
bit?
Much,
Oh, okay.
pretty much.
All right, so Mike Hungerford, John Calabria, thanks so much. Let's get back into the poll. Maybe we'll see Farmingdale soon.
All right.
Let's pick up at number 12 in our poll. A school both of you guys know, Port Washington, of course, Isaac Neal, head coach. Henry Haberman, what a star he is. Loyola bound attackman, 40 goals, 14 assists last year. Luke Meyer as well, going to Dartmouth. Matty Freeman, really impressed with him last year with the long pole. He should be great. 11, Farmingdale. Did you hear that? Hungerford, 11-3 a year ago. We mentioned before, Woodland leading the way. He was great in the basketball season as well, right? Terrific athlete. CJ Mangio, again, a junior Fogo, such an important position. He got so much better as the year went on a year ago. And again, Seaman, right? If you have a great Fogo and you've got a great goalie, Raf, I think that's a pretty good recipe.
Yeah, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch.
To win right there.
And as he walked off, nobody could see it because he wasn't on camera. But when you said 11 Hungerford, he went.
All right, so he's not mad. He's not throwing anything on set. I like that.
No, he gave an okay. Here we go, and maybe they'll be in the top 5 before the season's out.
All right, we go to some small schools now. Number 10, Cold Spring Harbor. Another great Fogo there as well. Max Hawkinson going to Rutgers. You've got a Michigan commit, C.J. Riley, Ivy-bound defenders, and Jesse Phelan and Patrick Pisano. They will be loaded again at Cold Spring Harbor. Number 9, Shoreham Wading River, of course, head coach Mike Taylor. Alec Grigorek going to Navy. Francisco Cortez, Harvard. So a couple Ivy-bound guys there as well. They should be terrific.
And technically, they are still the defending state champions because the last time there was a state championship, 2019, they were the winners in Class C.
Number 8, Bayport Blue Point. We got a chance to see them close to last year, 12-4. Doug Meehan in his 4th season. Jameson Smith, what a star he is as well, going to Hopkins. Lefty midi. You got Gavin Lacasio, of course, the senior as well. J.J. Aiello, the midi Fogo. He's heading to Navy. He's the guy who scored that big goal last year against Sayville as well. And also keep an eye out for Gary Merrill. He's a guy entering his freshman year, but as an 8th grader, really looked to be a future star as well. So Bayport Blue Point checking in at number 8. We move on in our poll to number 7. The Patriots of Ward Melville a year ago, 13-4. We showed you those games before too, right? We have them early on at Garden City. Should be a terrific game. And at number 6, they are the defending Long Island champions, Northport. 15-3 a year ago. What a first year for head coach Larry Sarasi, where he wins the Long Island championship. Mike Meyer, the Bucknell bound attackman. You've got Tyler Kuparanchek, another great Fogo going to Penn State, and Drew Miller, one of the best long stick middies, not only on Long Island, but in the country as well. So they will be some teams certainly to watch this year.
Yeah, Northport's just an outstanding team, like you mentioned, what they did last year with the first-year head coach. And, we talked about Syosset and Farmingdale, but the bar is high for them. And, they come in at number 6, and I'm sure they want to get even higher. And, now the pressure's on because when you first season, when you win, you get that taste. You want it again. You want to get back there again. So that's the goal for Farmingdale, for Northport.
Let's go for everybody.
Yeah, that's a goal for everybody.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll bring you the rest of our top 10 players as well as our top 5 as well in our preseason poll. It is the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show from 317 Main on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
What's up, Varsity Media? This is Mary Whitaker from Century 21 AA Realty in Seaford, Long Island. I am here today with Dan Luffman from Contour Mortgage. Dan is going to try to straighten out a little bit of this crazy market for us. What you got, Dan?
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for the introduction. Hi, Varsity Media. My name is Dan Luffman from Contour Mortgage, former Marine. And yes, we do have a great program here called Secure Buy. And what that does is not only do I give you a pre-approval, I also give you a commitment letter. And what that does now, when you make an offer, is going to put you to the top of the pile. And in this crazy market, that's what we need. Get Mary?
Anybody has any real estate needs, be sure to reach out to either one of us. We'll take good care of you. And we're wishing all of our lacrosse varsity teams across Long Island the best of luck this season, especially our Wanto Warriors. Go Warriors!
From 317 Main, we welcome you back to the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dylan Butler, Andrew Rappaport here. We've got a breakdown of the rest of our players. And again, look, that's a murderer's row of the top 3 that we already brought out here.
Yeah, and to break down the top 3 or top 10 players on Long Island, I mean, there's so many good players. There are so many good players. Nassau, Suffolk, Catholic, it's so hard. But we think we did a pretty good job of it. We got the 3 premier players, and now we're going to look at the rest of our top 10. And there are, you mentioned earlier, there'll probably people be upset saying, how come we're not on the list? But that's okay. That's okay. Here's the rest of our top 10 players to watch.
Yeah, so we start off with Charles Balsamo. And again, when you play at Chaminade and you're a lefty attack, you've got a lot going for you. Obviously, silky smooth, high lacrosse IQ, a team-first guy. Heading to Duke, had 25 goals and 16 assists a year ago. We head to the face-off X, and I mean, what a freak athlete Cascadden is. We saw what he could do in the football field from the face-off X, considering his size at 6'2", 210, virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's the son of an NFL player, right? So he's he's got the athletic pedigree. He's got the size. You mentioned football. The guy came back and played in the championship game injured. And lacrosse, I mean, he's even better in lacrosse than he is in football. So he is just a special athlete and a special player, and that's why Jack Cascadden is on our list.
Yeah, going to Cornell. He's got that quick twitch, fast hands, and obviously the strength as well at the face-off X. Next on our list, we head back out to South Huntington, and it is Owen Duffy, junior, bound for North Carolina, which is interesting because the 5th-ranked player in the class of 2023 by Inside Lacrosse has been compared to Chris Gray, who's obviously a star right now for Carolina after having played his high school lacrosse at Shore and Wading River, but he's got everything, right? He's a smooth dodger. He makes the players around him better. High lacrosse IQ. Kind of that throwback all-around attackman is Owen Duffy, one of the top players, again, on Long Island.
Yeah, great player to be compared to. You mentioned Chris Gray, I mean, one of the best, so Owen Duffy is definitely one of the top players on the island.
We head to Northport, and we mentioned it before when we talked about our teams to watch, but Drew Miller, incredible, right, at the LSM position. He will be going to West Point, big, strong kid, and he could really run the field, right? So what's great about Miller is he's a ground ball magnet, right? And once he gets it, he's going. He's winning that scrum, and that's the thing that Larry Ceresi had told us last year as well. It's a nice luxury to know when there's a ground ball, 54 is getting it, and then he also starts the offense as well.
And a guy who we just mentioned had the taste of winning that championship last year, so he knows what it takes to win, and he knows what it takes to get to that level, and Northport is very lucky to be having Drew Miller back this year.
We're going to keep with the long poles, and we're going to head to Cold Spring Harbor, where we go Patrick Pisano. We mentioned him again a little bit before, right? This is a kid who at Cold Spring Harbor, right, and Dennis Bond, we know, runs an incredible program, was a starter at Closty and LSM as a freshman. This kid is a hunter, 6'2", 195. He's tracking you down if you have the ball, and he's going to separate you from that ball. Not only that, then he's just unbelievable running the field, right? I love, one of my favorite things in lacrosse, Andrew, is the pole goal. And Patrick Pisano brings that, scored 3 goals last year from that position, but he's a phenomenal starter for Cold Spring Harbor, obviously also heading to Yale.
Pole goal, I like that.
Pole goals, baby, I love them. Next up, we head back out to the 6-3-1. And again, we mentioned him a little bit before as well, but Jamison Smith, another guy, right, who was early on a lefty attackman. He started as a freshman. He's become one of Long Island's best midfielders, right? He's gotten bigger, stronger, tougher. He's more confident as well. Tremendous work ethic. 30 goals, 37 assists as a junior a year ago. He will be going to Johns Hopkins. Tremendous player, Jamison Smith. And again, one of the leaders this year on a very, very good Bayport Blue Point team. We continue on with our top players to watch. We already showed you Cascadden, but he's got a good buddy, and Brendan Staub. And again, freak athlete also is true of Staub. Intelligent, athletic defender, really knows the game well. He can play close D, he can play LSM. So again, just incredible athleticism just goes from sport to sport.
A dominant football player as well, and you're right. You know, he these Garden City kids, they play football, they play lacrosse, and a bunch of these guys do too. It's not just the Garden City kids, but they play football, they play lacrosse, and they have success at both fields, and it translates over, right? Because at Garden City, they always seem to win, and it doesn't matter year after year. And Brendan Staub and Jack Cascadden are just the latest in a long list of great players to play both lacrosse and football at Garden City.
Yeah, listen, the lacrosse guys, they are lacrosse guys in their future, but when they play during the football season, they are football players, and that's one of the greatest things I think that Ettinger and Fennell get out of those guys year in and year out. So we showed you the players, right? We have to head back to our teams, and it's kind of serendipitous, right? Because we stay in Garden City, right? It's a lacrosse town, and we'll go with them next, right, at number 5.
Yeah, I think this is what everybody wants to see. This is what we talk about, the top 5 teams in the poll. And like you said, number 5, 13-3 a year ago, Garden City.
Yeah, and they're Long Island champs again, right? So they're kind of used to that as well. We talked about Cascadden and Staub, but how about some other defenders they've got as well, right? Cole Weber going to Virginia. He's terrific. Stevie Fennell, the coach's son, he's going to Syracuse. Amity, he's going to take an increased role this year as well. And Patrick Blum as well in goal, going to Lafayette. They are absolutely loaded. There was a debate on whether we put them ahead or behind Manhasset. It was tough, right? Because Garden City is going to be really good this year, but we went instead with Manhasset at 4.
And the good thing is they will play their yearly rivalry game, so we will know soon enough. Number 4, like you said, 15-1 a year ago, Manhasset.
Yeah, a little bit unfinished business as we spoke with Terenzi, right, for Keith Cromwell's squad. They've got, again, terrific players, right? Matty Perfetto as well, going to Cornell, Hunter Panzik to Air Force. They were both playing big roles as juniors, and also Cal Gerard, right, back at the Fogo, going to Duke. So, again, loaded for Keith Cromwell's Indians.
And a lot of good things happening in Manhasset because they just won a basketball championship over the weekend. So a lot of good things happening in Manhasset.
One of the greatest games that is played on Long Island is played between Manhasset and our next team, Chaminade, right? And that game is back again this year. We're super excited about that. Chaminade, right? Blend of youth and experience, a lot of team speed. This year, they're led by a Duke-bound attackman in Balsamo. We showed you before. You've got Navy commits in Matt Burns, who could play in the midfield or attack. You've got a midfielder in Jack Flaherty as well. Christian Olakwa, right? Terrific on the as a running back for the championship-winning football team. He's back as well. Gavin Creo going to Richmond. Ryan Landolfi going to Navy. Jack Moran's guys are absolutely loaded again.
And we know right now the schedule, the tough schedule. It's all great. They want to be there, holding their hands up against St. Anthony's at the end of the year, that Catholic League championship game, the state championship game, and that is the goal, and that is the number one goal.
We're down to our top two teams on Long Island.
All right.
Where do we go from here? It's a tough decision.
Number 2, Class C Long Island champions a year ago. Joey Spallina over there is clapping off to the side. 16-1, Mount Sinai.
Yeah, and again, right, 16-1 last year. Spallina's the alpha male, but again, such a great supporting cast as well. There's going to be all kinds of Spallinas. You heard him say before, running around the field, right? So, and all making a big impact as well before going on to Syracuse.
They're all going to Syracuse with him.
So it's going to be a tremendous year for Mount Sinai. But as Joey said, too, the unfinished business, it was great to win the Long Island Championship. It was the game of the year, an epic battle. But you don't have a chance last year to go and play for a state championship. That's different this year.
Yeah, that's always the ultimate goal. And like we said at the beginning of the show, for 2 years, one year where there was no lacrosse, and then the last year where it was the abbreviated season and they stopped at the Long Islands. At least they got the Long Islands. No other sports really got Long Islands last year. So they got that. But you always want to test yourself, especially in lacrosse. That state championship means so much. And now Joey and the boys are going to go up and hopefully get that chance to bring it back to Long Island.
Yeah, and again, a terrific slate as well. There you see him hanging out, Joey Spallina. So now we're down to one team, right? I think you know where we're going with this one, right? It's fairly obvious at this point, but it is the Friars of St. Anthony's. And listen, again, depth at every position. You've got Michael Leo. We had him before. Owen Duffy. We just talked about him as well. Jordan Naso as well. Holy Cross bound senior returning at Fogo. The schedule is back, right? You've got Del Barton and Briarcliff and all these other teams as well. So the Friars, again, loaded for bear, looking for another state championship.
And look who we have here now next to us. By the magic of television.
Amazing. Keith Weiserick here joining us. Keith, thanks so much for joining us on the show. Look, you're number one in our poll on Long Island. You're number one in the country by USA Lacrosse Magazine. And we spoke off camera, but and as I said to Michael as well, you've had an incredible run of the top player in that year's class, right? Brendan O'Neill, followed by McAdory last year. Don't have that, but a tremendous amount of depth this year.
Going to feel sorry for us in that regard, for sure. No, we're blessed with depth, especially our junior class, and then we have some senior leadership with Michael and some other key components there that I think are going to serve us well this year. So we're just excited, like you said earlier, to have a normal spring and to play our national schedule again and to be able to get out there and compete like we have in the past. So it's just great for the kids and great for everybody to be back to some type of normalcy.
When the expectations are so high, you said number one in Long Island, number one nationally, do you feel that pressure, or do you feed off that pressure?
I think Coach Hungerford said it earlier. I think the poll that matters is the one in May and June. So this is great. It's for the kids, for the school, and you look at it for a minute, and then you're one loss away from dropping like a stone in those polls. So especially with the schedule you play. So we're focused on. We play those teams to play them just to get great exposure and to have a great national, presence, but we don't play them thinking we're going to win those games, all those games. You play them just to compete against those teams, and in the end, it's, we're looking to dance with Chaminade 3 times and enjoy those moments as well with this group.
How great is it, too, for you, and I'm sure other coaches as well, right, but, you want to develop players that will go on and play in college, right?
Yep.
And again, you've had such an incredible run. And just even those names you mentioned before, you bring in a Denenza, you bring in a Naso as well. I mean, this pipeline from South Huntington down to Durham and Duke, and again, it's not just Duke, right? But I mean, obviously, a tremendous run that you have of sending guys to one of the best college.
Yeah, no, we're blessed there. I almost take, those kids are going to do well wherever they were. We take great satisfaction in other players. We have kids playing at Scranton, and we have kids playing at Sacred Heart. We have kids playing, all over the Division I, II, and Pride, and seeing those kids who've gone through the program and improve and get a chance to continue at the next level. It's really exciting. And those boys at Duke are just, exemplary. And each year we're blessed to have, a few of those kids that everybody talks about for the next 4 or 5 years, but there's also a host of other ones we're blessed to have that do really well at lesser-known institutions and are just a real pride for us as well. So it's just it's a great thing to be a part of the program.
When you have so much depth and you have so much D1, D2, D3 talent, is it tough for you as a coach to try to get everybody in and work everybody and keep everybody happy?
Yeah, again, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to feel sorry for us there. But there is a balance, and I think the big thing is to buy in. And a kid like Michael here and the boys we've had in the past, when your best players buy into the team concept, and Brennan O'Neill and those kids last year did it as well, when your best players buy in 2 years ago, McAdory last year, when your best players buy into a team concept and sharing the ball and not worrying about their stats and things like that, it makes it easier for me. And, we promote that, from start to finish, so I think it works for us with that goal. So it makes it easier on me that they all buy into what we're doing.
Keith Weiserick, we thank you for joining us. Congratulations on the preseason accolades, and we'll see if you can get to that number 1 poll as well come June or so, right?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys, and thanks for doing this, and thanks for the people that helped organize this.
All right, so that's Keith Weiserick, the head coach at St. Anthony's. Want to also, again, thank our sponsors. We'll bring them up now on screen as well. Lax on LI, Igloo Lacrosse as well. Of course, this great venue, right? 317 Main. Terrific food, terrific drink. I don't know about you, but, dude, I'm getting a little bit hungry.
I am too.
Right? We get some good food up
yeah.
there?
Well, listen, right there, sign says Stage 317. Let it be Stage 317 eating, right? Because coming up, me and you, we're going to enjoy some food from 317 Main.
Yeah, Chef Eric Levine, right? He's going to come up and we'll see what we're going to have here, right?
Absolutely.
So, want to thank everybody who came on here on set, right, for the boys' show. We'll have a girls' show coming up as well when we return. But first, we're going to get something to eat, right?
Yeah, and don't leave because we have, like you said, girls' poll, girls' players to watch. Some of the same teams that were in the boys' poll will be in the girls' poll, and we'll break it all down after we have Chef Eric on set.
It's the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York.
An array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
I don't know about you, Andrew. This is my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this the preview show or just the eating show? I mean, they just brought out the burger of the week, and I really don't know what's on here. And Chef Eric might be joining us, might not be joining us. I'm not sure yet. And I think it's a burger with some, looks like fried shrimp, and that may be some pineapple on there. I don't even know.
I will say that we've had this segment, and we kind of started, I think, in football season, right, at halftime, and we had a lot of local establishments bring their food, and we would eat and we would compare and taste test a little bit. It was like its own thing. It became a really, really big thing.
And that's what we want to do every week. Well, you might do it during the games. I don't know if we'll do it during the show, but we want to do it every week. So whatever the big game is, and we'll let everybody know, we want local food establishments, local restaurants, delis, whatever it is, to come and we'll judge your food. I mean,
listen, we wanted the games too, all right? So Mount Sinai, you're first up. Northport, Mount Sinai.
There you go.
What's the big eatery in Mount Sinai, right? Let's get to it.
Joey's gone, but we could have asked Joey, but yeah.
All right.
But
enough talk.
Listen, I had something before. It was a turkey burger, which was very, very good. But I'm super excited to dive into this. And listen, we'll give our review.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, first, you got to take this thing out of here. That might hurt a little
bit.
Oh,
I did that already.
All right. This could be messy here. Hang on, guys.
Okay, I'm going to lower this a little bit. Wow.
All right.
I think I see Chef Eric in the back.
Is he coming over here?
Chef Eric, you want to come on up here? Come on up.
I mean, he's better to tell us what's in here. I taste a little bit of like a aioli, maybe, right?
Yeah,
mayonnaise, a little spice there.
That was really good. I live so close to here. I live in Wantagh, so I'm not. And surprisingly, I've never been here to 317 Main. But I guarantee you, when my wife is in the crowd, my son, my mother, we will be back here. We will be back here for more food if everything is as good as this.
All right.
And everything is.
Okay, there you go.
Chef Eric Levine. All right, so Raph was saying before, this is the burger of the week?
Yes, this is a burger of the week. So it's a triple blend burger. It's got crispy shrimp on it. It has Thai chili. It has a little bit of pineapple on there. So a lot of different flavors and textures and umami in there. So it's kind of what we do. Everything has textures and flavors in all the different dishes, and we have fun with food here.
And I like, too, you get a little bit of that spice, but it's not like an overwhelming.
Right.
Right.
And that's the
is-
balance of
yeah.
things. You know, it's like in sports, you got to have everything balanced out, right?
Ah, I like that
See?
a little bit.
See what I did for you
A
guys?
sports reference, I like that. I'm too busy eating my French fries because even the French fries are great. And in the front, we'll just give a little plug to the market in the front.
Yes.
I mean, I walk through the front, and I don't eat chocolate, but there is a ton of non-chocolate baked goods up there.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my God, I said to the women in the front, can I have one of everything? I
There you
actually
go.
didn't,
Yeah.
but everything looked good and
awesome.
This tastes amazing.
Yeah, the marketplace is a lot of fun. We have different. We partnered with different companies. Side Hustle Bread, the Cake Don, Macaron Company, a secret stuffed cookie company, the Cream Puff Company, My Raviolis are back there. So we have lots of things that people can purchase, whether they're coming here for dinner or just stopping by for a quick sweet bite, you know.
And so every week you change the burger?
The burger of the week changes every week. Our menu changes seasonally. We always have, local specials. So like tonight we have an Shinnecock Bay scallops. We have some fluke from out there.
Oh, why didn't I get the scallops? That's my favorite.
They're expensive, so
Okay.
just give it away. You know?
Fine. I'll have to pay for those next time.
But listen, an incredible room you guys have here as well.
Thank you.
Food, amazing. Well done.
All right. Well, have a good season.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Thanks,
All
Chef
right.
Eric.
Yes, thanks.
Chef Eric, everybody. Incredible stuff from him. So I think, Raph, we've reached halftime, right?
Yeah, this is halftime. I need nap time now after eating this. I only took a couple bites, but we'll finish this later. Our ladies are ready to go. We're ready to do top 10 players to watch, top 20 poll. So
special guests as well. We got a lot coming up.
Let's take a quick commercial break. I'll take another bite of the burger, and let's get right back into it.
Yeah, it's the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Shot on goal and good. Burke to X. Look at that crisp cut in front in the goal. From X turns, fires and scores. Welcome back to 317 Main in Farmingdale for the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dylan Butler here, Andrew Rappaport as well. And Rapp, this is your specialty. It's about girls lacrosse. You are the guru of girls lacrosse. And listen, we're biased, obviously, being here on Long Island, but there is no place in the country that has better girls lacrosse than on Long Island.
There is no place in New York State. There is no place in the country. There is no place anywhere that has as good as girls lacrosse as we do. Top to bottom, 1 through 20, these teams can compete with any team anywhere in the country, and it's hard. I mean, I'll be honest, it's hard. And you know, you have to pick 20 teams like you did with the boys, and you have to pick 10 girls. It's tough because there are so many more deserving that that should be on the list, and we'll get there, and every week we'll get to them. But like we said at the boys' show, it's fun because now for the first time since 2019, they can compete for state championships. Last time they had the states, 4 classes, Long Island sweep.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep for Long Island girls. So hopefully we go out and Long Island proves it once again.
Andrew's a humble guy. He doesn't want the attention, and we're going to bring in the president of Varsity Media here as well to talk about a very special venture that you started. It's become, it was early on, but it is the premier girls lacrosse tournament on Long Island, or in the country, I should say, and really what you've done, Andrew, it's special, raising awareness, raising money for Gains for Brains. It's a terrific thing, and we'll bring in Ben as well now to kind of talk about that, and as well as our sponsors.
Yeah, we're hi Ben. Yeah, just if we want to touch on Gains for Brains, we have the schedule coming up, and it's my favorite day of the year. This year it's actually 2 days, and April 23rd and April 24th, and we raise money for kids with brain and spinal cord tumors. So it's a tournament that pits some of the best lacrosse teams again from Long Island against some of the best from the tri-state area. But more importantly, we raise a lot of money. And we do, this year we're having half of it at Cold Spring Harbor, and you can see some of the games. I mean, premier matchups. Northport,
Dude,
New
that
Canaan.
First one is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Northport and New Canaan. That's two of the best teams in the country.
That is, and Garden City and Suffern, and St. Anthony's and Ridgewood. Obviously, Ridgewood is a premier team in Jersey. Cold Spring Harbor versus Sacred Heart of Connecticut. And on the next day, on Sunday, Sayville, ESM, Mount Sinai versus Sacred Heart of Long Island. And there were just some premier matchups, and we've raised a lot of money. We usually raise about $12,000 to $15,000 every year, and we're going to do it again. And we're going to show all those games on Varsity Media, so I'm excited. We're back after 2 years of not having the tournament. We're back this year.
Yeah, we're really excited to cover it. We will have some great games, like you had mentioned, and some great announcers covering that game as well. Maybe we'll get you in the broadcast booth for 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, I think I could do that. I think I could. Dylan, you want to work with me?
We'll see.
I think the last time I worked with Dylan side by side was Gains for Brains, probably back in 2018. So this is like
old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
And you made it happen.
Yes, we're excited to broadcast that game, and a lot of sponsors have made that happen. Lax on LI, we'll talk about. Vanessa Windsor will be on in a couple of minutes, and she'll talk about that, and she's one of our sponsors for the show today. Igloo Lacrosse, and of course, 317 Main Street for hosting us today, and all the great food that everybody's enjoying here, and Chef Eric that was on here a couple of minutes ago. So we want to thank our sponsors, also Century 21 and Breakout Goaltending as well, for hopping on board with us today. And we're really excited, in addition to our sponsors, who we thank obviously, we're really excited, speaking of ventures, to introduce our new app that will debut at the beginning of the lacrosse season, the Varsity Media Pass app. And there's going to be a lot of bells and whistles with this thing. First of all, it's available on the App Store and on Google Play. Will be available when lacrosse season starts, so make sure you download it at that time. Highlights, player interviews. This show will move eventually over to the app. Feature stories, stats, standings, so much more for the lacrosse fan. And as we go on throughout the course of the school year and the season and the year, the calendar year, we'll do football, we'll do basketball. So this app is here to stay forever. So we're really excited about it, and we want everybody to download it when it drops at the beginning of lacrosse season.
And maybe you'll hear a lot more of my voice.
And you'll hear a lot more of Rap's voice. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but you guys will be the judge.
Well, listen, we're going to do a lot of girls lacrosse this year. I promise you that. So, Ben, you can step to the side, and we'll get Ella up here. And as we did with the boys, we're going to break down the top 10 girls. And we're going to start with 3 of the premier girls lacrosse players around, okay? Not just on Long Island, not just New York State, but around. To my left, Madison Taylor from Montauk. There you go. Nice. We're going to just see who gets the loudest round of applause. Abby Lacasio from St. Anthony's, who... That's good, too. You guys will be future teammates at Northwestern. And over to my right, Ella Cabrera from Northport. I think it's all equal. She will be going to UNC. So we put Ella to this side. We kept the Northwestern girls together, and we kept the UNC on my side. But, yeah, I mean, like we said, three of the premier players. And Ella, let's start with you.
Okay.
You had a rough season last year.
Yes.
A shortened season to begin with, and you were injured.
Yeah.
So you missed the first 9 games.
Unfortunately, yes.
But then you came back and helped Northport get as far as they can. Now that the state championship is back and you're healthy, how great do you feel that a state championship is in sight?
We're so excited. We've been working all year towards this, and after like the 2 years, obviously, that we couldn't make it down, it's definitely been our goal that we've been working hard towards, and just we want to do it for everyone, like the seniors, all the juniors who couldn't get down there, and it's just something that we really want, and we're pretty confident that our team's really tight. We're really good friends, so I think we can all work together and get down there, hopefully.
Now, you won a state championship as a freshman. You're no doubt the favorites to get back there. Going on record and saying it now, the rest of Class A, look out. Is that pressure?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure because that team, 2019, was just such an amazing team. We've had so many amazing players at Northport, and now going into my senior season, we just really want to make sure that we could get the job done, and it's been really anticipated for us. So we want to get up to the expectations that people have for us, so we're excited.
Okay, you mentioned a lot of talent, whether it's Yellow Jackets, right? You grew up in Northport, you have no choice but to be a Yellow Jacket, or the Northport teams right on your. When you won the state championship, Olivia Carner was on the team, and Pav, or even when you were a little girl, players like Shannon Gilroy, Quinny Fortunato, Jill Byers, right? I mean, those are girls you probably all grew up watching, right? How much has that tradition of greatness at Northport helped you?
That's just what makes Northport so special, and just the team, like just being able to wear like the Northport jersey. It's just an honor because the people that have worn it before me are just people that I've looked up to since I was like a little girl and always watched, and just people that I wanted to be like. And now that I'm in their spot, I kind of just want to be able to do what they have been able to do for this town and this community, and be someone that people can look up to me as like an older person now on the team.
Well, I'll say you're doing a pretty good job of being like those players before you. Let's go to my left. Start with Madison. We're Wonton neighbors, so.
Yes, we are. Around the block.
Around the block from each other. Your coach growing up, Shannon Smith, the Hofstra coach now, and how much has learning from her, one of the all-time greats on Long Island, how much has that helped you become the player you are?
It's literally been such an honor. Like, I've always looked up to her, and just like her being my coach, like especially because she went to Northwestern and won all those awards and everything. It's just for her to like take the time to like teach me everything about lacrosse is just such an honor, and I wouldn't be where I am without her. So
48 goals as a freshman, 56 goals as a junior in not a full season. But now you get that season back. So how high do you set the bar for yourself, knowing what you accomplished back as a freshman and in a shortened season last year?
Definitely want to set it high. I always like to reach high goals for myself. So to be able to do that, I have really good, unselfish teammates around me, and everyone puts the team first, so I couldn't do it without them. But I think we could definitely reach those goals this year.
Did Shannon nudge you guys a little bit towards going to Northwestern?
No, definitely not. But I mean, she's definitely really proud of, I think, me and her. So it's just, hopefully we could reach what she did.
Her being Abby Lacasio, who will also be going to Northwestern. And I'll ask you the same question about playing for Shannon Smith. Like I said, one of the all-time greats in Long Island, and the fact that you got to play for her growing up and really learn from her. How has she made you into the player you are today?
Yeah, like what Maddie said, just it's an honor to be able to play for one of the greats. Just so much about work ethic, and also off the field stuff, being a good person and making sure everything's in line, schoolwork and everything like that. She really just, not only like as a lacrosse player, she made sure that she instilled within us like values of being a great person too, and that's something that I'll never forget. And to be able to go to the same school as her, and someone who I've looked up to for so long, like it's just an honor and a dream come true.
You obviously both play for great high school teams, high expectations for both. St. Anthony's especially, I mean, obviously one of the top 2-3 teams in the country, and this year, no doubt, the same thing. 12, I think, Division I players on the team. Is there pressure associated with that? I mean, playing for such a great team when you know the expectations are that high?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had that winning expectation, just going to St. Anthony's in general, not just our team. I think every sport we want to bring home a championship. I mean, I wouldn't say pressure. I think we can handle it, and we know what our goal is, and we're just looking to execute.
You guys play a ridiculous schedule. You get the benefit of, unlike the public schools, you get a lot of these non-league games. How much do you really enjoy testing yourselves against some of the premier teams, not just on Long Island, but around the country?
Yeah, I mean, it's so awesome. This year we're going to travel down and play McDonough. That's another nationally ranked program, and that's just an opportunity that's so awesome. And
they're overrated, by the way. You're better than them. Sorry, I just had to get that in there. Now, is there a little friendly competition between the boys at St. Anthony's and the girls at St. Anthony's? Because you guys are both two great teams, and I know you probably all are friends. Do you guys talk amongst yourselves like, we're going to have the better season? No, we're going to have the better season?
I mean, I think we lift each other up a little bit more, just to have two programs that are ranked top 5 in the nation. To be from the same school is so awesome, and we always think about how, we want to keep that expectation for ourselves. And yeah, I mean, sometimes there's some teasing how we want to go undefeated. No, we do, but it's usually just playful and stuff like that.
But you're better than them, right?
Maybe.
Come on the spot. All right. And I have to say, before we let them go, it's great to have them here today because today is International Women's Day. So to have the 3 ladies on International Women's Day, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better day, right? So congratulations to you guys and good luck. And
Thank you.
State championship.
Thank you.
I dropped my pen. State championships, Catholic League championship. Let's go win the whole thing and make Long Island proud.
Yep.
All right. Congrats, guys.
Thank
you so much.
All right. You got it. All right. Now we will jump back into the poll. You can sit here for a couple seconds if you want. Wait till we put up a graphic, and we're going to get into the poll, all right? I'll give you a little spoiler. All 3 of you are in the poll, just not yet. All right. At number 20, North Shore. They check in at number 20. They lost in the first round last year. Kylie Colbert and Kate Gillum to lead the way. And by the magic of television, we have them here. They'll be here in 1 second. They will be coming up and joining me on set. At number 19, Long Beach last season, but they made it to the Class B semis. They're a young team. They've got a great coach. And Long Beach, I know at 19, they will probably be a little higher in the poll, and they will get to where they want to be. At number 18, Southside. Cyclones beat Long Beach in the playoffs last year before losing to the eventual champs Garden City. 12-4 last season. If you don't know anything about Southside Athletics, their soccer team, especially their girls soccer team, premier teams in the country. Every year, they're right there. They're competing for state championships. So I am sure some of those players, the soccer players, are saying to the lacrosse players, hey, go do what we do and go win a state championship. And Southside got to go out and win one of those big games, and they will be just fine. At number 17, Cold Spring Harbor, Danielle Castellane, coach, is in the house. She will join us in a few minutes. They're the Class D Long Island Chips last year. But listen, that's not where Cold Spring Harbor wants to be. I stood with them in Cortland when they won the state championship a few years ago as one of the premier teams in any class. They have a great young goalie, Cold Spring Harbor. They're young, they're rebuilding, but this year, their goals are right back where they were a few years ago, state championship. At number 16, Warden Melville. New coach this year, Stephanie Paragallo, who I actually covered when she was a player at Hop Hog. Lost in the county quarters last year. Courtney Quinn, their stud player, Mitty. She will be going to Stony Brook next year. And as I mentioned, we have 2 guests with us now, Kylie Colbert and Meg McCormick. How are you guys?
Good. Good, thanks. How are you?
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
You ready for lacrosse season?
Very ready.
How excited are you that, like we've been saying, first time since 2019 that a full season. We get a full season of lacrosse and hopefully no interruptions, and it's go time.
I'm really excited. I think that we have a lot of potential this year, and we've been working hard in the off season, so we're ready.
Coach, talk to me about that potential. I mean, how good is this team?
You know, we only lost 2 starters last year, so we have a lot returning, and we have a lot of talent that have been on the team for Kylie being on the team since middle schooler, 7th grader. We have other girls that are on the team played up in middle school, so I think just having that leadership and the consistency will definitely help throughout the year.
You know, I know you're still an underclassman, but does that make you one of the leaders of the team? You're obviously one of the highly rated juniors in the country. Does that make you a leader of the team and someone that you know, they put the team on your back?
Yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of us, though, that are leaders, but I would consider myself one of the leaders on the team.
Well, you're humble. How good is she? I mean, no. she won't brag about herself, but you can, because going to Boston College, one of the greats, one of the great juniors. How good is the girl sitting next to you?
She is special. She has been special since 7th grade. I think she's just so talented, and I think what makes her even better is that she is so modest, and she just loves to play. She is a kid that goes out every single day and gives 110%, and that effort is contagious. So she leads by example, and she helps her teammates on and off the field, and I think that just goes to show the type of character and athlete she is.
And makes the players around her better.
Correct.
You've had a lot of great players through the program over the years. Just to continue that tradition, to continue that excellence, it must be such a great feeling knowing you have someone like Kylie to turn to.
Definitely, and I think the support that she has around her on the field also helps. Kylie is a phenomenal athlete, and I think the other middies and attackers and defenders look to Kylie, but also they support one another, and I think that's what good teams are able to do.
Do you like being in that role?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
When the younger girls, even some of the older girls, come up and say, what do we do in this situation? You're ready to show them how it's done?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and these two also. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you for joining us, and good luck this season.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. Kylie Colbert and Coach Meg McCormick from number 20th ranked North Shore. All right, we are going to take a break right now, but when we get back, we will meet some more of the top 10 players, and we will finish out the top 20 right after this.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
And that one is true to form.
Here comes a cut by Taylor, and that time she doesn't miss.
Look at that cut to the cage and a sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco.
Looking up top again, Lachinsky seeing it all the way to the save. Rebounded out ahead for Almachi.
Spinning and firing, and what a response there.
Igloo Lacrosse, where it takes a team to build a player. We offer a competitive but family-style club. We're all-inclusive and feature great recruiting events such as Elite 80 and Big 16. Plus, we have the best gear around. Check us out for more information at igloolax.com.
Lax on a Lie. Female owned, female coach, female inspired. The only girls lacrosse sports performance company on Long Island. Training youth, high school, and collegiate female athletes from Suffolk and Nassau. We focus on skill, speed, strength, nutrition, mental performance, recruitment support, and select competitive teams. We are supporting you to be the best girls lacrosse player you can be, on and off the field.
She gets it right back. Makowitz in front. The shot and the goal. Grace McCarthy. She gives Northport the 1-0 lead. Welcome back to 317 Main in Farmingdale. It's the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement, Raf. We move along. Listen, dude, they're trying to close this place down. Like you keep Like you're on here for a while, man, asking 20 questions.
Yeah, this place is we're having fun. Come on. They're selling food. They're not closing this place down yet.
Fair enough. But you saw Chef Eric, dude. He's got some tats. He might get angry.
I'm waiting for dessert.
Left, it's Vanessa Windsor. Again, another dual hat where with Stony Brook School, but also Lax on LI. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, listen, we're super excited. Lax on LI, obviously a tremendous program you guys have. Just tell us, the audience, a little bit about what you guys deliver.
Sure. So when I became the coach at the Stony Brook School, I started to run clinics out of there. I was a 7-year college coach in Virginia in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, so Division III. We had a lot of athletes there that we would develop because lacrosse is still growing across the country. Sure. So I grew a heart for developing athletes, training athletes. I started off when I started at the Stony Brook School, really training athletes one-on-one. I'm also a certified strength and conditioning coach, so I would help with speed, strength, nutrition, all different aspects. And as I started to do this, I would get more and more kids that, parents that were calling me to train their kids. They're in PAL, they're, in different various clubs. And it just kind of took off from there. And every parent used to say, Long Island needs something like this. We have the schools that are great. We have, clubs, and we were really meeting the kids in the middle. So what I always say is that we are a female only. I really care about female athletics. As a kid growing up, I really feel like our coaches did. I'm from Long Island. I grew up in Rocky Point. Our coaches in our community really had a really strong passion for female athletics, and working in various athletic departments, so did I. So if I was going to do something like this, I really wanted it to be female only. Everyone always asks. I do have a son. I have 2 daughters too. One of them actually plays for our program because we do have select teams as well. But we really focus on the development and the training. We have trained over 400 kids on Long Island. I have master coaches, we call them. As a former college coach, I think it's really important not to just get female coaches to be mentors. I want these coaches who have played the game, coaches who have coached on various levels. We have high school coaches that have coached for years. And we also do want to meet the kids for the recruitment support. So I'm more for knowledge, not necessarily saying like we're going to get you recruited. I think meeting a lot of kids, especially as a college coach, a lot of families that just didn't know much about the recruitment process. I have even had athletes tell me who are playing now that they have never thought that they could play in college. I think, you might not be going top 20, but you can still play if you're a Long Island lacrosse player. So we kind of meet the athletes where they're at. We train youth all the way up to college athletes now. So it's just a really fun community that we've built. I have a lot of coaches that work with us to thank. Success is never built alone. And we've been able to really grow our own niche in the Long Island lacrosse community.
That's awesome.
And you're also the coach at the Stony Brook School you mentioned.
I am.
And if people don't know a lot about the Stony Brook School, it's separate from the college, right? It's separate from the Stony Brook University.
I always say we're the boarding school right behind the university, but we were there first.
There you go. So what can you tell us about the Stony Brook School? Because, like I said, not a lot of people know about it, but you're a good team.
Yeah, so I actually decided to say yes to coaching at the Stony Brook School. They used to actually be a really great program. They had girls and guys lacrosse back in the 80s and 90s. They sent kids to many Division I top schools, both male and female. They did get rid of it for a little while under another AD. My athletic director, Dan Hickey, he played at the Stony Brook School. He grew up there since he was like 10 months old. Brought it back in 2018. And I have 3 children. So when I was considering college coaching or doing something else, I chose there because I was really inspired about building a program. It's not for everybody. But I felt like on Long Island, being a boarding school, we have half day, half boarders. I have girls on my team who are from Nigeria. We teach them from the time they come in how to pass catch, develop their lacrosse IQ, and they're playing on my field. So we're the private school league. We were in the Suffolk County League for 40 years.
Wow.
All right.
That's a Vanessa Windsor, thank you again for joining us, for your sponsorship as well, and we wish you the best of luck this year and going forward as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Vanessa Windsor from the Stony Brook School and Lax on LI. All right, Raph, we have to get back to the poll.
Let's do a little poll. How about that? And I think we're starting with number 15, Eastport South Manor, another team that's technically a defending state champ. We talked about it in the boys. They are ESM won in 2019. Unfortunately, I don't think they have somebody like a Casey Choma this year, so I don't know how good, if they can get to that level. But hey, listen, they have one of the best coaches around, Becky Thorne, lost by a goal in the county final to West Babylon last year. West Babylon, shout out. She'll join us in a couple minutes. East End Power, listen to this. They've made 9 straight Suffolk finals, and they've won 7 of them. Now, one of those losses came last year to West Babylon, but they've been in 9 straight county finals. It's pretty crazy. Number 13, seniors, Megan Kitagawa, going to Yale, 51 points a year ago. Number 13, West Hampton Beach. They lost in the first round last year. Losing the 2020 season for them was kind of tough because they had their best player ever, Belle Smith, who's now at Boston College. Olivia Rongo going to JMU, Midi, 57 points again, 57 points a year ago. Look out for West Hampton Beach. Number 12, Smithtown East. They lost in the county final last year. No shame, they lost to Northport. But they lost by just 1 goal. About in just a couple minutes. And number 11, Sayville. Tough loss to Mount Sinai in the semis last year. Makes them hungry, and they are battle-tested. Taylor Haas and Bridget Manning lead the way. So that is 15 through 11. We'll have the top 10 coming up momentarily. But how about we talk some players?
Yeah, some key players, right, this year. And we'll start here. This is for me, Raph. If your last name, right, is Arceri, and you play at Smithtown East, you've got a ton of expectations, right? I mean, Gerald, Chris, right, both went on and played in college on the boys' side, but Ava, she's on her way as well.
And if you would have seen my notes, it said, learn from playing in the backyard with older brothers, both D1 players.
100%.
So it doesn't get better than, and she might be the best of the bunch, which is pretty insane to think because those are two good athletes. She's one of the top-ranked juniors in the country. She's going to Stanford, midfielder. And listen, Ava Arceri, big things expected last year after they made it to the county final last year, and you can expect them to get right back this year.
Friars, clearly not a one-player team, right? And Ava Biancardi is another big part of what they want to do this year.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, how many, I think it was 12 Division I players on the team. She's going to Duke, Midi, 16 goals last year. See, that's a thing about a team like St. Anthony's. You don't have to score all the goals to be a great player because they have so many great players that can do it. One of the stud people to come out of the Yellow Jackets program and is as talented as a scorer as...
We got Kylie as well. Obviously, 2 of the better players. Another one, we stay out in Suffolk County, Jordan de Blasio.
Yeah, she may very well be the best defender all Long Island. She's going to Syracuse. I asked her coach, I said, what makes Jordan so great? They said, lockdown defender, can work well in transition. Her intangibles are unbelievable. She's very aggressive, got good feet and good stick skills. She's been on varsity since 9th grade. Syracuse is getting a great one, but Mount Sinai has 1 more year of her.
Now, let me tell you again, right? Like, if you lead Long Island in scoring and you do it as a sophomore, yeah, you're making this list, and that's exactly what Lacey Downey did out of West Babylon.
Absolute stud. Absolute stud. Like you said, she led Long Island in points with 121 points, 71 goals, and she was second in Long Island in assists. She's dominant on the draw, one of the most highly recruited players in the country. Boston College went out, won the county title last year. She's also won county title in basketball, so she is just a stud athlete.
Well, all Long Island in 3 sports. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. She's aggressive, she's determined, she's fierce, and we'll have her coach up here in a couple minutes, and she can say a couple more nice words about Lacey Downey.
Well, here's another player, too, that's going to have a big future in the ACC, but obviously her present is at Northport, Kaylee Makowitz.
Kaylee Makowitz, attacker, going to Duke. 66 goals last season, 45 as a freshman, so you know she's a very talented goal scorer. She helped Northport win the Long Island Championship last year as an undefeated team. Another great player from that Northport legacy, and her lacrosse IQ as good as anybody's.
Yeah, she's tremendous. Whether it's at the draw, attacking, whatever she does, Kaylee Makowitz is a high-impact player. We will stay out again in Suffolk County. And listen, Middle Country has had so many incredible players, right, over the years, and Kate Tamarki is the next one.
And you're referring to two of the best, the Ortegas, and Jamie Ortega went to Notre Dame. Kate Tamarki is going to Notre Dame. She's a junior, so we have a little more time with her left on Long Island. 61 goals, 24 assists last year, 42 goals, 43 assists as a freshman, Under Armour All-American. Her Yellow Jackets coach described her as a fierce attacker, scrappy between the 30s, prolific goal scorer. Listen, you score 103 goals in 2 years. Yeah, you're a pretty prolific goal scorer. So Kate Tamarki, excellent junior, one of the top 10 players to watch.
That's the top 10 players. That's pretty ridiculous right there. That's 10 tremendous players.
Absolutely, and I wish we had a top 20 players to watch because we could easily fill out that list. But
we do have a top 20 teams, though.
We do.
We're going to keep on with that, right?
Listen, if you watch us every week, I guarantee you we'll name a lot more names than these top 10 we named because there are plenty of good goal scorers, plenty of good players right here on Long Island.
All right, on with the poll. We talked about him a moment ago, right? West Babylon, a terrific year last year, a historic year, and they're back for more.
Yeah, they are the defending Suffolk Class B champions. I'm not going to spend too much time on them now. We got Coach coming up in a couple minutes. We will talk more about West Babylon. At number 9, Sacred Heart Academy. If it wasn't for St. Anthony's, that's probably what they say every single year. If it's not for St. Anthony's, I mean, they are so good, and unfortunately, they have to play St. Anthony's for the championship. They're always a solid and a deep team. If they get another championship, it was a couple years ago, 3 years ago, they ended up beating St. Anthony's, but consistently, right now, they are number 9. Kate Benkowski, she's going to Quinnipiac. She will lead the way for Sacred Heart. At number 8, Massapequa won a county title a year ago. Favorites to repeat for Nassau A. Stud goalie Luciana Cardello. She is going to Hofstra. Kimberly Greenblatt, Mitty going to Rutgers, and Olivia Marlowe, defense, going to UConn. So Massapequa is the best of the big schools in Nassau County.
Number 7, Wantagh as a team too, right? We talk about unfinished business. They're hoping to take that next step after that tough loss to Manhasset last year in the Nassau County Class C Championship.
Incredible offensive talent. We already talked to Madison Taylor, Eva Ingrilli, Madison Alemo. I mean, the talent on that. They play in that league where every day Manhasset, Wantagh, Garden City, Massapequa, they all battle each other and good as any of those teams.
Mount Sinai, obviously a program that we mentioned the boys before, number 2 in our boys poll, number 6 here in the girls poll.
And a new coach after the great Al Bertolone had retired. Chris Sorrenti takes over. A team rich in tradition, lost to BVP in the county finals last year, returning 9 starters, including their entire Division I staff.
That's up to 6. We still have a top 5 to do and some coaches as well to bring up. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show from 317 Main in Farmingdale on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
What's up, Varsity Media? This is Mary Whitaker from Century 21, AA Realty in Seaford, Long Island. I am here today with Dan Luffman from Contour Mortgage. Dan is going to try to straighten out a little bit of this crazy market for us. What you got, Dan?
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for the introduction. Hi, Varsity Media. My name is Dan Luffman from Contour Mortgage. I am a retired detective, a former Marine. And yes, we do have a great program here called Secure Buy. And what that does is not only do I give you a pre-approval, I also give you a commitment letter. And what that does now, when you make an offer, is going to put you to the top of the pile. And in this crazy market, that's what we need. Get Mary?
Anybody has wishing all of our lacrosse varsity teams across Long Island the best of luck this season, especially our Wantagh Warriors. Go Warriors!
Are back with the Long Island Lacrosse preview show on the Varsity Media Network, and we've done a lot of players, we've done a bunch of teams, we still have the top 5 to go, but now we are joined by some pretty impressive coaches. We've got Danielle Castellane, Cold Spring Harbor to my left.
Thank
no,
you.
this is to my right. I know lacrosse, I don't know my left from my right. To my left, Colleen Kilgus from West Babylon and Christina Esposito from St. Dominic. We got a lot of towns represented too, right? Danielle played at Farmingdale, but coaches at Cold Spring Harbor. Colleen played at Wantagh, but represents West Babylon. And Christina played for Colleen at West Babylon, and that represents St. Dominic. So we got a lot of lacrosse towns going on here. Let's start at the very end, and we'll work our way back. Your second year coaching. You took a team last year that hasn't been a traditional powerhouse, and in your first year, St. Dominic won a small school Catholic championship. Have you raised the bar already of what you expect from this team every year?
Yeah, definitely. I think going in, Jerry Caramelli is my assistant coach, and that was the first thing we said was just totally changing the culture and the atmosphere, and I have to give credit to the girls because they wanted it themselves. So we just kind of brought it, and then it all came together.
And you have a very talented team coming back once again.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of returners. I think, we only lost about 2 starting seniors. Meg Morris-Rowe is going to Princeton, and we have a really strong younger class, too.
How good of a coach was she when you played for her?
She was awesome. She made us run a lot. But she was an awesome coach. She kind of really taught us the mental side of the sport, and honestly showed me how to be a really great coach connection-wise with the girls.
Do you still make your players run a lot?
It's the hot topic of the week. It was asking me what time they have to do the time mile in.
I would stay away because I can't run. But we mentioned Lacey Downey before, obviously one of the premier junior players in the country. And you've had a lot of great players on this team that have come through West Babylon, and Lacey is just the latest one. And we said we'd talk more about her. How great of a player. For people that don't know Lacey, what does she bring to the team?
I think what is so special about Lacey is her athleticism. So it's just her natural athleticism that she possesses and she carries. And I've known her since she was a young girl because she's one of many siblings in the Downey family. And she's just a natural, something about who she is as a student athlete.
Do you wake up every day and say, wow, I'm lucky to have somebody like her on my team?
I am absolutely lucky to have someone, yeah.
And now, you got that county championship last year, tough loss to Garden C in the final, but same question I asked, does that make you hungrier, right, to get back to where you were and get another championship?
Oh, absolutely. Last year we were so happy to finally get that county championship win under our belt. That was something we've been fighting to do for a while, to beat ESM. They're a powerhouse. And a lot of respect for Becky, too. But now we have, a new thing that we're chasing after. We'd love to win the Long Island Championship. It's not easy in Suffolk. We have a really tough division, so we definitely take one game at a time. But we have some new motivation out there.
All right, so Catholic champ, Class B Suffolk champ, and over here, another champ. Last year, you guys won the small school championship, Class D championship. And you guys have accomplished a lot. Cold Spring Harbor has accomplished so much. Are you guys in a rebuilding year, or I know you guys have a very young, good goalie, right?
Maya Soskin, yes.
But what are your expectations for your team this year?
I mean, our expectations are always the same. We want to be playing in June, and we want to be playing better in June than we were in March. We've been, very lucky in the past, 2 Class C championships back to back. Obviously, COVID shut us down in 2020. I think that would have been a possible year we could have been back there. Last year, lucky enough, obviously, to have the shortened season. First ever time in Class D, ended up with the Long Island Championship, and this year we're looking, hopefully to get back on the bus. But the expectation is always the same. We have tough competition throughout the year. We play in that Nassau Power Conference, so we're definitely looking to be back there in June.
Yeah, you know what it's like to stand on Cortland on that final day of the season and hold that championship. Do you preach that, girls? It doesn't matter what class we're in, C or D. That feeling is like no other.
Nothing. It's getting on the bus, being, I think, just together, ending with a win. It doesn't matter who you play. Doesn't matter who you play. We are prepared through the season with the competition that we have, and I think everyone's excited to go back there.
All right, last question. Just tell me a little bit about this stud goalie that I've been hearing about.
Last year was brought up to varsity, never playing any lacrosse at Cold Spring Harbor, even in middle school due to COVID. And, she was phenomenal. She is mature. She had to work a little bit, find her voice, I think, with a name that's going to be remembered on Long Island.
And you've had some good goalies.
Absolutely. We've been very lucky inside the pipes, and she's definitely going to keep that blazing trail for us. So we're excited that we have her, and you'll be hearing her name a lot.
Perfect. All right. Coach Castellane, Coach Killias, Coach Esposito, thank you. Happy interview.
Thank you.
And let's go play some lacrosse and win some state championships.
Right.
All right. Thank you, guys. And now let's get back to the poll. Our top 5 teams. At number 5, Manhasset lost by a goal to Bayport Blue Point in the Long Island Championship last year. They have a lot of returning talent. All 5 goals that were scored in the Long Island Championship last year came from underclassmen. So Alexis Morton, 44 goals, she's back. Ashley Newman, she's back. Annalisa Macero, she's back. It's another one of those things like we talked about St. Anthony's. So I wonder if there's a little friendly rivalry between the Manhasset girls and the Manhasset boys. Who is going to be the better team? I actually asked that to Joey Terenzi when he was here, and he raved about the girls' team.
How about the Manhasset girls and the Garden City girls?
Oh.
Right? There's a natural rivalry for you.
That is always a natural rivalry, and we are putting Garden City at number 4. Much like you, we went back and forth on this. Garden City is the defending Class B Long Island champs, and here's my theory. Until someone beats them, I'm not going to stop believing that they are one of the premier teams in the country. They've got a coach who knows how to win, right? Took over for Chappie and
Dave Ettinger, did an incredible job.
Dave Ettinger is the football standout, now is the girls lacrosse coach, and Garden City checks in at number 4. Like I said, if somebody beats them, we'll go with it, but right now they are number 4.
Now, the beautiful thing about these next 3 teams is they all went undefeated last year, and Bayport Blue Point obviously coming off a dream season. First ever Long Island Championship. Now, Madigan Miller, right, won all kinds of accolades. She's gone, but there's no reason to think the Phantoms won't be back again this year.
You mentioned undefeated last year. In my old life, I had them ranked number 1 at the end of last season because they were that good. I mean, the schedule they played, just battling every day in that small schools out in Suffolk Division, so incredibly tough. Undefeated, scary good again. Katie Clare going to Yale, Kiera Rooney going to Florida. I think for Bayport Blue Point, after they got that Long Island Championship last year, it might be state title or bust for them.
Another great coach, too, right? Ryan Gick.
Ryan Gick, another great coach. And like I said, big expectations for Bayport Blue Point.
All right, now you might get some people angry here. Here's where the emails come in for Raf. Because we go to the top 2, and at number 2 is St. Anthony's. Not number 1, at number 2.
Abby's over there shaking her head. Ella's smiling. Abby's shaking her head. But look, it says right here, could be 1A and could be 1A and 1B.
That's a cop-out. Come on.
It's not a cop-out. St. Anthony's is number 2. I'll say this now. Abby, are you listening? If you guys run the table with the schedule that you have, I promise you will end the season at number 1 because you guys are that good.
Now you're getting the Northport people upset. How are you guaranteeing they're going to be 1? Northport's number 1 in the preseason.
All right, so I made a statement, and we'll see what happens. They are that good. They are one of the premier teams in all of America, and They are number 2 in our poll, and the number 1 team in our poll is Northport. Again, we went back and forth between Northport and St. Anthony's. Northport is number 1. So much talent on this team. You know what put it over the edge? They have the coach who's the GOAT, right? And when you have a coach who's the GOAT, that pretty much sums it up. This team will win states. They will win the Class A state championship in New York State, no doubt about it. And the expectations are high, and believe me, this is a team that's going to deliver. They're deserving of number 1. They are that good.
All right, that's your top 10. We want to take one more look at what's coming up on Varsity Media. And again, Gains for Brains, Raf, it's an incredible lineup of teams.
And you mentioned the first game. Sid Northport is number 1, and they're kicking off the tournament. St. Anthony's is in the tournament. Garden City's in the tournament. Cold Spring Harbor's in the tournament. Sayville, ESM, Mount Sinai, so many of our top 20 ranked teams. And all the teams that they're playing, nationally ranked, so good, great day, come out. My wife bakes. She's an awesome baker.
I know.
she bakes. My mother bakes. Everybody.
Yeah, an incredible tournament. And we'll take one more look, too, at the upcoming schedule, our broadcast schedule as well on the boys' side. Again, it starts off with an incredible matchup of defending Long Island champions, Northport, Mount Sinai, Garden City, home for Ward Melville, right? Those are 2 perennial powerhouses, always nationally ranked. Syosset, Southside, Bethpage, East Islip. The list goes on and on. An incredible array of games, and that's just like the first week.
Yeah, that's just the first week, because there'll be plenty of girls' games on Varsity Media as well. All the Gains for Brains games will be there, and plenty of girls' games throughout the season. So I'm just excited we're back.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the first time since 2019 we get to board the bus and go upstate and watch some teams win state championships here and the boys down in Long Island, and it's going to be a fun season. Hopefully no interruptions, and let's play some Lax.
Absolutely. And speaking of Lax, we want to thank our sponsors as well. Lax on LI, Igloo, Lacrosse, of course, is great venue, 317 Maine. Incredible food, incredible atmosphere, and incredible people here joining us as well. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here for the Long Island Lacrosse Preview Show. Thanks to my partner here, Andrew Rappaport, all our crew here as well with Varsity Media. We're so excited. Lacrosse is back, and we can't wait to get going on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce in social media. Nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.